Welcome back, everyone. Going to the second part here of Court of Swords. Adam, I think we're starting with Zeke.
Hell yeah, we are. All right. So, Yotazo, you wake up after an indeterminate amount of time. You have a pain in your chest. I don't think Yotazo has ever had a heart attack, but that's what it feels like. You have this kind of like awful, like heartburn feeling in your chest, and you awaken in the dark. You see nothing around you. You're not blind, as far as you know, but you feel cold and uneven stone below you. You hear maybe distant dripping of water from somewhere. You can't see around you. You're not chained up, but
check
you don't have any
around,
of your
like-
stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been stripped.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got your clothes,
Okay.
but you don't have like your bag. You don't have your weapon. Any of that stuff.
I sniff around. Do I smell any other like living things, sweat, or anything like that?
Yeah, make a perception check. You can do it with advantage because you're just smelling.
12.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, you smell it. It smells a little like rancid meat. There's like a warm rancid meat smell. Wet fur. But also like an unmistakably like human like body smell. Somewhere in the dark with you.
So it smells like there's someone might be close to me.
I mean you can't
Okay.
you can smell it nearby, but
I can smell you. Do they leave it dark all the time here?
and you hear a rattling. You hear metal chains and breathing. And then a voice, quiet, with some kind of like speech impediment. There's something that's like blocking their speech, or maybe they're injured, maybe their jaw has been broken and didn't heal properly. But you hear it's been dark for too long. I smelled you when you came in as well. But I don't recognize you. What are you? And this is like
Am I in
quiet
chains?
from somewhere. No, you're not.
Okay.
You can hear the voice and where it's coming from. It's quiet, but they're fairly close.
You don't know how many cycles you've been a prisoner?
Without the moon to watch, everything is chaos.
Do they feed you?
No. Water sometimes. I've forgotten the taste of food.
Were you imprisoned by the comedy?
No.
That's who's in charge right now. They didn't like what I had to do or say, so I ended up here.
What did you do?
I tried to help a friend. It didn't work out.
I A shame. Is your friend dead?
I don't know. They, the judge did something to me. I barely saw it. Now, did the thing like go through my back and like come out my front?
Other way around. You saw it impale you.
Oh, okay. The judge threw out something from his hand and went straight through me. And I feel around. Is there like a hole or a wound or anything?
No, you're okay.
It doesn't seems to have
I mean, you're
healed.
okay. You've one hit point, but you're not like
Okay.
you don't have a huge sucking chest wound.
I was gonna say no scar, no nothing.
No.
Okay. But it seems to have healed. Do they give you any information whatsoever as to if you'll ever get out of here?
I think they forgot that I was down here. I wish that I could forget that too.
What was your crime?
I owe the flesh crafters a debt. Work delivered but unpaid for.
So you owe somebody.
Yes.
Is there a door or something like that? And I kind of start feeling around on the walls. if there is walls, like if I'm close to them.
Yeah. They say is I cannot know. It seems unlike you. I am chained to this place. And there's a rattling sound as they like tug on the chains so you can hear them.
And why would they chain you but not me? Are you fearsome?
Yes. I am dangerous in my becoming. They are right to chain me here. I should not be free. And there's like more, you hear more like sniffing. And then you hear, come a little closer, would you?
With what you just told me, I don't see how I couldn't. Said you were fearsome and frightening and you deserve to be chained up. What would you do if you were in my position?
Strange circumstances make for strange bedfellows. I just want to get the measure of you.
Now that he said that,
So strange.
do I smell like a canine kind of a smell?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Okay.
definitely what that like and that's great that you put that together. Yeah. It's like the meat, the decaying meat smell is like the bad breath of a wolf, and
Okay.
the wet fur stink is like the musk of a hound, right? Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Would I have in my life travels, whatever, would I have heard anything about, is lycanthropy a thing?
Make a history check or arcana, whichever you prefer.
Okay. 20.
Nice. Yeah, you recall bits and pieces of a story about a man who visited like a traveling man, went to the house of a rich man and begged at the rich man's door for alms, or in some versions of the story, it's just food. And the rich man turned the poor man away, and so the poor man broke into the rich man's house and ate all his food. And because this person, they were meant to be poor, it was their destiny to be poor. They broke the will of heaven, and heaven punished them for stealing from this rich person, so that they would be hungry forever. That they would take on the form of an eternally starving creature, a terrible man beast, who was doomed to never die, but to constantly seek and never be satisfied by anything that they eat. And it isn't so. There isn't like it isn't like there's a race of werewolves and wereboars and werepanthers and horseshit like that. It's like a curse.
Right.
That's
they call
that's
it
a
horse
thing.
shit.
And it's just it's stupid. But yes, so yeah, the gods have been known to curse people, to turn them into horrible hybrid men beasts. And that's
Gotcha.
the story that you remember about that. But you've certainly never seen one before.
Mm. Mm. In my, I don't know, travels throughout the land, I've heard tales of cursed beings who change. You said becoming. Do you change at some point?
I have changed.
I will move a little bit closer to the sound.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so you get a little closer, and yeah, you hear more like sniffing at the air, some rattling, and you hear this person say, "Where are you from? What sort of creature are you? Your blood. I don't smell the demons on it. You're something else."
Very, very astute of you. Those very big questions. When it comes to me, I'm from far away. I'm from the other side of the coin, so to speak. You know how people speak of heaven and they have a reaction of fear or a well, where I come from, it's the opposite. We talk about this place. I do not come from heaven, but where I come from, heaven is revered, and this place is the cursed place.
That's a good story, stranger.
Mm.
A good story. And one you shouldn't tell. Especially if those fools from the court come to take you away.
Why? What would they do?
You shouldn't lie about such dangerous things.
Well, are you well traveled? Have you been around this land far and wide?
I came here when the vein was first tapped. Opportunity, they called it. For a while it was. Developed a pretty bad juice habit. And then something inside woke up. Spent everything I had for my becoming. And didn't have enough to pay it off.
So you got what you paid for, but now you can't do anything with it since you're chained up here. Is that what you're saying?
I shouldn't have killed those flesh crafters, but I couldn't help it.
What do the flesh crafters do?
There's a pause. And then, you really aren't from around here, are you?
I move a little closer just so, like, if I can smell like judge as best I can being out of reach of. And I'm guessing, I mean, he's chained up, but I'm not sure if it's just like an ankle chain or.
Yeah, you can't see, right? So
I would assume that it's more than I would assume that his appendages are, because if it was just an ankle chain, he'd just chew off his arm or chew through the wrist or something like that.
yeah.
Or the ankle. So I'm guessing he's fully chained up. But yeah, I'm gonna get within 5 feet and sniff, like keep sniffing around him, seeing if there's anything else I can suss out. Like, I don't know, like a smell of. He's been down here a long time though.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you get closer, and you hear. So it's great because you can't see what's happening. So your mind is just like filling this in. So you hear the chain like rattling slightly. You hear scratching on the floor. You hear what you thought were like water, like droplets of water before, but now realize that it's hot spittle dripping from jaws that are a good like 8 or 9 feet above you. You hear one of this creature's like hands next to you, and you hear its breath, and it's like this thing's got to be like, it's so big, like he's like 10, 15 feet tall, and equally as Rod. And so yeah, you just hear the like scraping, and you can smell the overwhelming like hot musk coming off of this creature. And he says, recognize that smell now. It's the juice. You're full of it. And there's like you can hear the chain like one link at a time, like click, 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 like pulling through a peg as the thing is like moving very slowly closer and closer to you.
I'm backing away very very gingerly, and I'm ready to bolt at any time.
Yeah. So you back away as it moves forward, and then you hear the clank as you reach the end of its chain, and there's like a bit of a snarl, and he says, "Don't worry, little one. I won't eat you. Someone will remember you're down here, and they'll punish me. Unless that's why they put you down here. A little bit of mercy." And then you hear a long, rasping tongue slide over the surface of teeth and lips. And that that dripping of saliva onto the floor.
Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I was sent down here to tantalize your sense without satisfying it. I'm wondering.
So long as you stay out of my reach, it doesn't matter either way.
You're a very large thing, aren't you? Were you smaller before the becoming?
Yes. Long ago now, that.
Why would they chain you up, but not me? Wants to stop me from, I don't know, figuring out a way for you to escape.
What's to stop you, indeed? And so as you ponder that thought, there is a click of a key in a lock. There is the sudden sound of a door opening, and a spike of light travels across the floor and pins you in place. And we see, just at the very edge, we see the creature that you're speaking to withdraw from the light. We see the end of an enormous hand with fingers the length of swords, with huge claws on the end of it. We see this hand withdraw from the light as the thing moves away. And a voice from the other side, from this light, from the open door, a voice says, "Time to see the king, stranger. and you hear the sounds of more of those like marionette guards coming into the room to like grab you and take you out.
Do I get a look at my fellow captive? Like his
Make a
his
perception
foot
check.
at least?
Yeah, make
Okay.
a perception check.
Okay. 15?
15. Okay. Yeah. You definitely see, and it's like a human. It's a human hand, but it has like an extra knuckle, and is like I said, like like the fingers are like a meter long with another like half meter of filthy broken like nails on the end. And when
Okay.
you look, you catch maybe like the glint of um light off of the surface of an enormous like dinner plate sized wolf's eye.
And just for a second, like you like if doesn't make much of a reaction, but you can like if you zoomed in on his neck, like a Yota's neck, you'd see like the hair stand up, like holy fucking shit. It's like 20,000 leagues under the sea, and you're like looking out the porthole. You're like, oh, look at that school of fish, and then something goes by, and like some leviathan opens its eye. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So you,
I go.
yeah, the guards come.
Go
and
to who it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they come in. They come in and take you. They take you away. So we stay in the room as you were taken from it, and then the door clicks shut behind you, and we cut away. So Berg, where do you go? What do you do? You're alone in the big city now. When we cut to you, you are emerging from the alley that you ran into, and out into a bustling crowd of people coming and going. Everyone here is of one of three. Though Berg might not be able to tell the difference, but one of three species, right? There's mostly humans, but occasionally you'll see someone with like an extra eye in the middle of their forehead or like tentacles for arms. Creatures that might be called tieflings in the world that you are from. And then the gray-skinned, sort of black-eyed, void genasi. And yeah, and people, it basically, like, aside from the palette being different and the architecture being strange, it's like every other kind of like big city you've been in, full of people, lots of loud noises, the bustling of trade, and yeah, and now you emerge. You maybe get a couple of weird looks, but most people assume you're just some kind of Maraborn they don't recognize, at least for now. The judge, it's not like they're going to give up. There's going to be wanted posters soon. But you have some time. So what do you want to do?
I'd like to duck down like some sort of alleys and stuff and see if I can find some sort of, or even if I'm just walking. Am I actually just in the middle of the crowd right now, like where we start from? Or?
Yeah, you can just like walk out into the street if you want, or you can fall
No,
back.
I mean, I was gonna like explore the immediate areas I'm at. If I could find some sort of ratty old like shitty cloth somewhere, go through some trash, even just like a tarp, something I can like drape around myself.
Right? Yeah, totally.
If there's like a market nearby
some,
or whatever, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, like the classic is that you just like reach up and grab somebody's laundry and just like
that's
yank it
what,
down.
yeah, that's what I do.
Right?
Just grab like some whatever is in the area cloth wise and try to fashion some sort of like shitty looking rag garb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, you can make a shitty disguise for yourself. That's certainly fine. Okay, all right, and then what do you do?
I guess start to explore the city. I don't know what happened to everyone else, but I'd be staying. Well, I guess I'd be staying in the middle of the crowds, not on the edges. Okay. Wherever there's least light is the way I'd be going. Is it, what time of day is it? It's nighttime right now, or is it?
It's never really nighttime. It's like always this weird gray twilight. Like you look up and you can see less of the big green sun than usual because there's all these like spires, these jagged sort of spires of the city. But yeah, there's no night or day. It's just kind of gray all the time.
Yeah. I'd be moving throughout the town and try to figure out if I can link up with Ramos, Maharib, Yota.
Yeah, and you have like no idea where those guys are, right? Nope. Yeah. So how would you go about trying to find them?
Well, I know Ramos got in. Would I have
This is the
heard that
you're lost in the
conversation?
mall and you don't know where your mom is. But you
Would
know
I have
she's in
heard
here
that
somewhere.
conversation? Probably not. I wouldn't have heard that conversation that Ramos had with that guy, right? Saying like, because I was in the process of running. I just don't know how far away I was. I guess I would kind of double back and try that area. Start from there.
Okay. So you're gonna head back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah. They don't think I'd go back there anyways.
That's right. I love the Berg like, okay, and then maybe they would know that I'm gonna, but then I know that they know that I'm gonna do this, so I gotta go. Okay, so you head
So
back.
maybe I should go into the middle of the city.
Yeah, you head back towards the city gate.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where at least I'm gonna start, and then like look and see what's in the area, and try to figure out where Ramos might go.
Okay. All right, so you head back towards the gate, and we get this kind of transitionary shot of the various kind of heraldry of the Dragon Knight being taken down and being replaced with. It looks to you like any of the towns that you've ever been in preparing for a festival. Right. The idea is that like you're seeing streamers being put up, but like military regalia being taken down. So these pennants and banners are being removed and rolled up and put away, and instead they're stringing, colorful for this place, streamers across between the streets. There are performers on some of the corners. You see somebody playing some kind of weird like bagpipe thing, yeah, if it wasn't so like tense and weird, there you might feel like a sort of festive attitude. But can you make an insight check?
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm. It's
Oh,
a
nice.
oddly high
16.
roll.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So something is wrong. This is like a birthday party that nobody wants to be at. This is like being at the bar, and it just goes from like everyone having a good time to like waiting for somebody to get in a knife fight. Like it's just things are weirdly tense. And even though you see jesters and musicians and stuff, the people like are trying to ignore it. They don't like look at the people that are playing the instruments. There's no festive joy in the air. There's just this tense feeling of like fear almost. And you notice that as you go.
Weird.
Yeah. And when you get back to the gate, I think you see before they see you, obviously, you see a couple of the marionette guards standing on the inside of the gate, and the gate itself is shut, and you see somebody using like wheat paste to put up a paper sign on the door, and it says in common, by order of the fool, the gates are shut. And there's a bunch of people standing around like half of my family's still outside, or like my caravan's out there. Come on, I gotta leave. And the marionettes are just standing blocking it and not talking to them.
Sorry, guys. All right, then I'm gonna look in the immediate area and see if there's any buildings and structures that are public stuff that I can go into, like inns, pubs, that kind of thing, and sweep my way through the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you looking for anything in particular, or do you just go into like the nearest bar?
Would I be able to track Ramos at all? Since I have ability to track like survival instinct stuff. I've been around Ramos like a long fucking time, so I might be able to discern either his scent or maybe his.
Yeah, I have no reason to say no. I think that's something you could try. It'll be pretty difficult, but because like Ramos, unless Ramos wears like special boots that underneath have like Ramos rules written on them, it'll be a little tricky. But you've been around Ramos for years. You know what Ramos's footprints look like. You're a tracker. This is a thing you
figured
can do.
the pattern and the distance and whatnot is
just look for the people who are offended and upset. There's a trail of them that leads to Ramos. Okay, yeah, make a survival check. Let's say DC 15 for you to track down Ramos.
Nope.
Oh, buddy.
Well,
nope.
that was
his
worth a
tracks. his tracks are lost in the like sea of footprints. How do you feel when you do that? When you're like, okay, I gotta find Ramos, and you like look around, and it's just like there's no chance. You're just like, oh god, he's gone somewhere, and the city's huge.
I just mutter shit to myself, thinking that like, oh, it was a good idea. Berg came up with a good idea, and then it was just like, fuck.
Yeah. So we see your shoulders slump, and you're like, oh shit. And nearby, someone takes notice of this response, and you hear a woman's voice from a nearby alley. You hear like, hey.
Berg just like
You
looks
look over. Okay. There's like a she looks like middle aged, like maybe like 35. A woman. She has gray skin and the kind of mirror black eyes of a Genasi. She looks a little like ragged around the edges. She's got a cloak that looks like it's been dragged through the mud more than once and is all like ratty at the bottom. And she looks at you and she smiles and she says, "You look like you're having a hard day. You need help."
You could say it's been a rough day. Why do you want to help?
Oh, you could say it's my job, keeping an eye out for newcomers who had a hard time of it, and I help them out. You know, get them where they're going, find what they need. Is there something you need?
What's in it for you? Why help me?
Well, if I do a good job, people are satisfied, and they pay for my services. Maybe next time they come through, they know who to look for.
I don't know that you can help me.
Oh, that can't be possible. Tell me, what do you need?
Looking for someone. Besides, I don't have money.
She
Indeed.
She kind of gives you a look and looks you up and down, and she says, "So, what do? You look like a fighter, armored like one."
I am a comedian.
or whatever word is equivalent to comedian
That's a word, yeah.
as a joke.
She laughs, which is both like it's like she's laughing because that's so improbable, but then you made her laugh, so she's like,
Exactly.
"Well, you've come to opportunity at the right time. The new regime's all about talented jokesters, but you got to know the right people to tell the jokes to and the right venues. Maybe I can help you get a job, and then when you start making coin, you can pay me back."
Something not right about you.
She puts her hand on her chest like, "Ow, I'm hurt." Do you want to make an insight check and try to like figure out her deal?
Yeah.
An 11. Okay, let me roll a d20 for no reason at all.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she has ulterior motives for sure. She's not just like a friendly friend.
You say you've been looking around here for people that are new. Have you seen one? The mask.
Actually, does he have the mask anymore? What does he look like anymore? Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos,
I can't
what
remember
did you
what
look
he-
like?
current state.
What would be something that Berg would use as a like
Yeah, it would be like a
way to describe you?
identifying characteristic
This-
for you.
I'm wearing a very big black cloak. I don't know how popular cloaks are here, but
I
I'm wearing a
figured
big
probably
one.
pretty.
Yeah, I love it. You walk into a like goth convention and you're like, well, he's wearing black. He looks kind of sickly. Kind of an asshole. Mascara. Maybe Have you seen him?
Probably the
Yeah.
most
Use the
identifying
word
mark
society a lot.
is the handprint on my
Or-
face is probably the most
Yeah.
identifying arc.
Yeah, so I'll say that. I'll say
Smaller thing wearing dark cloak. Burn print of a hand on his face. You seen him?
I've seen lots of people coming and going. What's he to you?
Okay then. Goodbye.
Berg starts to
Hey,
walk away.
hang on. And yeah, and she like like grabs your wrist so you can't get away. And she says, hold on. All right. I saw
No
your friend.
time for games.
Puts her hands up. I just want to help.
No, you do not.
So you don't. She scowls and she says, "I'm just trying to do my job here, stranger. If you don't want my help, I mean, I guess you could just wander around town till the guards notice you."
Why would gods care about me?
Oh, I don't know. I think they'd find a strange, tusked individual wandering around town something very interesting, especially after everything that happened earlier at this very gate. Just seems to me like they might want to know. But if you're too busy, you go on your way. Call it a head start.
Berg looks at her and smiles. Like,
Hmm. What do you have in mind? Then helper of people?
And she grins and she says, "Well, I only help my friends. And if we're going to be friends, you should tell me your name."
But
She smiles, she nods, she looks you up and down. She's like, "That's a weird name. Where are you from, Bert?"
not here.
Fair enough. Respect your privacy, Big Bert. You can call me Idle Hands. See now? Nice and friendly. Piece of
What does
friendly
that
advice
mean?
for you.
Idle
She says-
hands.
Don't worry about it. Piece of friendly advice. And she takes a step back into the alley and she's like, gestures for you to like, come here.
mm-hmm. Yeah, he goes over there.
Piece of friendly advice. Don't let those things get a good look at you. She gestures past you. The fool's puppets are everywhere now. Always looking and prying. Opening doors shouldn't be opened. Opening windows when you're trying to sleep. I liked it better when the deacon was in charge. But he's not. That's not where we're at. And you need to find your friend. I happen to know just where he is. But I need to know that it's going to be, worth it for me. Now, I know you don't have any money. Struggling comedian and all. But, Bert, you think this burned friend of yours, you think he's got any money?
Berg like thinks. I think Ramos had some money. He's usually the one, but it's not. The thing is, it's not their
not-
money. It's
it's
they
not-
might be
yeah.
interested in that. They might be interested in that.
It's like, yeah, he's got some money. It's like pesos, I think is what he calls them. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you tell her? Because Berg is simple enough that he's just like, yes, Ramos have money. I remember.
Ramos have money. So yeah, he responds. He thinks for a second. He's like,
Yes. He usually has money.
Good. Well, then you obviously need to be reunited. So that your friend can take care of you. And your new friend. Idle Hands. Is your friend the friendly type, Bert?
Sometimes. Not usually.
Well, we all have bad days. Why don't you and I go and find this burnt-faced man of yours? Hmm?
Sure.
And she takes your arm, and she's like, "Yeah, right this way." She leads you down the alley.
This will work out great.
Then her friends jump out and stab you to death. Okay, cool. So, meanwhile, while Bert the comedian is searching the streets of opportunity, Ramos, you have been introduced to a group of artisans. They are led by the man you ran into, whose name is One Last Job, I swear. Everybody calls him Last Job. And One Last Job, I swear, is a traveling purveyor of art. The people with him are his artists, but they don't have any art with them. They're not carrying around paintings or sculptures or any of that. And on the way to the bar, they have he's mentioned somebody kind of in passing. He hasn't mentioned to you like specifically like what this person is for, but he's mentioned that he's looking for someone named Yota. You don't know who this Yota is, but one of the artisans is like, "Last Job, shouldn't we go and see Yota?" And Last Job's like, "No, we have time for a drink first. Yota can wait." And so they take you to a bar, a tavern. It is a low-ceilinged, greasy, sort of smoky place. It has the smell of generations of unwashed countertops and spilled beer and other things. But it is a well lived in environment. It's one of those bars that's the entrance is off an alley and you wouldn't know it unless you knew it was there. And Last Job makes a point of being like, this place is great. Every time I come to opportunity, doesn't matter who's in charge, this place is the best place to get a drink. So you've been led to this place, and Last Job gets a table, and they sit, and drinks are brought over to you, so I think we probably fade in on that scene with Last Job. Now, what did you tell him your name was?
I think I just said Ramus. I don't think there's any reason to lie about that.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, "So, Ramus. It's an awfully short name."
Well, the
Have
full name
you-
is Ramus the Burnt.
He nods. Says, "So have you? That's a touchy subject. I'm sorry. I'm being rude. What do you do?"
Well, right now I'm kind of in between jobs. Traveled from far away, looking for work here. Make a new life.
Yeah, you've come to the right place. I mean, I wouldn't want to live here. It's too unstable, but if you can catch it at the right time, if money's in season, there's coin to be made. Plenty of it. There's been, well, you must know, veins. Lots of them, little ones here and there. Now, I'm not a hunter. I don't have the constitution for it, but hunters make money. There's plenty of juice going around. Lately, it's been open season. They keep saying somebody's going to take over permanently, really crack down. But until then, we're here to make money too. Plenty of it. What kind of things are you good at? Maybe we can find a place for you. And somebody kicks him under the table, and he's like, he looks at them, he looks around like, who did that? And he's just like, "I'm just being friendly. Fuck you. Drink your drink. I paid for it." He turns back to you. He's like, "So what are your skills, Ramus, besides getting yourself out of sticky situations?"
Ah, well. I am a lover of fine things, beautiful things. I love to admire things that are beautiful. They deserve love. It's a passion of mine. It's hard to make money off of it, though.
He's smiling while you're talking, and he says, "Huh. You and my companions have that in common. We have a business of making things more beautiful. Aesthetics are very, very important to my friends. I have no talent for it myself. Skin, bone, hair, the like. But them, prodigies, these three. And they're kind of like looking at like, oh no, fuck you, shut up. Like we're fine, we're just whatever. And he says, but I have a mind for business. I can turn their talent into coin.
Ooh. So they enhance things to make them a bit more beautiful, and you find buyers for such things, I would assume.
He nods. I know people, they know their work. We haven't been working together for very long. I was in arms dealing before, one of the minor conflicts in the East, but messy work, that. Which I suppose is ironic given what they do, but a different kind of mess. Bigger scale. Brutal stuff.
Are you here on a job? I heard mentioning casually a Yota. Do you work for them, or?
Aorta's a maximalist we've had some dealings with before. A first step. Testing the waters. These three are in a bit of a hurry to get to them, but I have to tell you, they make me... I try to be open-minded, but there's a limit to these things. The maximalists are avant-garde where I'm from. You don't see that kind of crafting, usually.
And a very acquired taste. It's hard to deal with. There's always someone like that in these types of places.
I would rather do one job for 1,000,000 coins than have to do 1,000,000 jobs for 1 coin. Sometimes you have to make concessions.
How much are you looking to make here? Like enough to set you for a long time, or to get by?
I'm hoping to make enough to make an investment, an opportunity. Put some stakes down in case things stabilize. If not, well, there's always property to be purchased elsewhere.
If you had to pick one of the three, which would you go for if they took
so,
control?
So he rolls his eyes like, oh God, now you've done it. And the other three immediately start. They don't even start. They continue an argument that sounds like they've been having it for weeks, right? Where one of them is like, clearly the obvious choice is, and then all three of them are talking over each other, and not to you at all. They've just picked up this argument they've been having, and Last Job laughs and says, as you can see, we can't even agree amongst ourselves. How can we be expected to think that this place would be able to agree? Sometimes it's the Dragon Knight, other times the Divine Comedy. There was a time that everyone in Opportunity bowed before the Basilica, but it's seasonal to me. And he leans in sort of conspiratorially. He says, don't tell them, but if I had to choose, I think it would probably be the Dragon Knight, because he's a moron and his men are morons, and it's easier to operate with militant morons than it is anyone who's going to actually keep an eye on what you're doing.
Very true. Rules that are solid are easy to work around.
I could tell from the moment I saw you, Ramos, that we were going to get along famously. You look like you need another drink. Do you need another drink?
Hell yeah. It's been a long journey.
He nods and he says, "Good, good. I know the owner of this place. I'm going to go and find them and get us something special." And he gets up and he turns, and as he's on his way over to the bar, the door opens, and you see an unmistakably familiar silhouette. You see Berg, another smaller
Hello.
person. And Berg, this place is dark, so your eyes kind of have to take a second to adjust. Ramos, what do you do when you see Berg? You have a moment to like say something or whatever.
Um, I'm suspicious that Berg just walked in just randomly, so I kind of like pull up my hood a little bit just to look inconspicuous and just see
don't know
what he's
you.
doing, or if he's alone, or it seems weird. Because last time I
Okay,
saw him, he was fighting some stuff. Yeah.
Friends like
Make
these,
a-
idle hands.
So Ramos, make a stealth check, and Berg, make a perception check. Oh damn it!
Oogie. Wow. Mm,
Yeah, go ahead and make that perception check.
I just love that he comes in. Oh,
Oh,
damn.
so close. So close. So you scan the room. You see that the bar at this part in the day is pretty quiet. There is one table near the back, and there are 3 people arguing about something loudly. It sounds like a political argument at the back. There's somebody else at the table, but they look like maybe they're drunk or passed out because they're just like sitting down with their like hood up. And your
Yeah.
eyes scan the room, and you hear Idle Hands says to you, I'm sure this is where he went. Maybe he's upstairs. There's rooms here. You know, it's an inn and a tavern. I'm gonna go out back and I'm gonna ask. You don't go anywhere. Get us a table. And she gestures like to a nearby table, like go sit down.
or like nods and like goes and sits down.
Okay, all right. So you walk over and you sit down at this table, and your companion also disappears. Ramos, you see Bert walk in with this girl, this woman, and then she leaves. She goes out the same side door that your friend did, and now Berg is sitting at the table by himself.
Yeah, I think once I see her leave, that's when I'll go up and approach Berg.
Okay, Berg. The cloaked stranger approaches your table. It's Aragorn. You're going on an adventure.
Is it
But-
unmistakably Ramos? Can I see him, or is he coming from behind?
I mean that's Ramos.
Are you being
What do you think?
sneaky or?
You come here often, big boy? From behind you.
Do you change your voice at all?
Just a little bit.
You want me to roll inside, or do I know that it's him?
Let's have you roll. Let's make a deception
For the
check.
fun of it,
Ramos.
yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's do it. Okay, you
Yeah.
can definitely tell it's Ramos. A two deception, a 13 insight. So yeah, you hear Ramos trying to disguise his voice.
Ah, there you are.
Who's your companion?
Someone on the street knows who I am. Tried to black
Mm.
tried to male black me.
I hate when people male black me.
She knows.
Well-
Said she wants to help. But, of course, money. Said you knew. She knew you were here. I said you had money.
She said she knew I was here.
Yes, seems like her job is to see all, trade information. Maybe. Figured might as well use her to find you. Deal with maybe problem later.
Sounds like we may have found a shadowy organization in this necropolis.
Oh,
Tell her you found me. I'll be in the corner. Probably be best to know what she wants and who she works for. I'll be over there with those gentlemen.
Should we go by you?
No, sit here, wait for her, see what she says, and then when she comes back, then you spot me in the corner. You understand,
Okay.
Berg?
Talk to
All
her,
right.
then go by you.
Yes, I'll be watching. I slunk her back over to the other table.
I just picture Ramos going like slinking
the
back into the
shadows.
shadows. I was never here, Berg.
Well, the whole idea of Ramos trying to tell you how to like subterfuge somebody else is so good. Like, listen, okay, you tell her that you found me, but don't look at me. I'm not over there. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, then he said, he, from what I understood, just there is like talk to her first, and then say, and then I spot him.
yeah, she's just gonna walk over, and you're just gonna be like, Ramos there. So so you go back to your table, Ramos, and they're all still in the middle of this argument. And then Idle Hands comes out of the back, looking like a little stymied, a little frustrated. And she comes over, and she puts her hands on the table, and she leans over and looks at you, and she says, I don't know. Maybe your friend was here and left. They're not. There's no room. The only people that came in are those crafters over there. So, yeah, I think this is the dead end. We should hit the streets.
Maybe have drink first. Do they serve?
You don't have any. And she's like,
Good
she
drink.
laughs. She's like, oh, you are a comedian because you don't have any money and I'm not buying you a drink. I mean, not right now. This is business. We can celebrate later, once we find your friend.
That's him over there.
And she turns. And yeah, you see this woman with her like glossy, like a mirror black eyes, like look over at you, Ramos. She quirks an eyebrow. Oh, so it is. Well, let's go and say hello.
Or just follows.
Okay. All right. So the two of you walk over the table. So we as you approach, we crossfade over to Maharib. So Maharib, how long do you wait out here? This is like the situation outside of the sanctum, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you and Granny.
I mean, I need to get inside, so I'm waiting until someone shows up. It's this
Okay,
whole
all right.
thing once again.
So a few hours go by, and the jester has long fallen asleep in the throne. And a few hours go by, and then the door opens, startling the jester, who falls out, does a pratfall out of the chair, and like rolls to their feet and turns around. The door opens behind the chair, and a judge, you can't tell if it's the same person or not, steps out and turns to address the group of you and says, by order of the Divine Comedy, the gates, the necropolis are shut until we can find the intruder and deal with this threat to public safety. You have the fool's sympathies. Wait, if you wish, or go about your business. And there's like a bunch of complaining, obviously, in the crowd. You hear the like old lady be like, "Oh no!" Yeah, and there's like the crowd's all just like, "What? This is ridiculous! I've been out here for 4 cycles already!" And like they're getting like rowdy, but the judge is just like impassive.
What does the old lady say? Like my arms are crossed, so I just look down at her and see her response.
And she looks up at you and she says, "Oh, things were different when the Dragon Knight was in charge. The Dragon Knight would have found that intruder already and had his head on a pike.
Good old
He's
days.
handsome too, you know. Have you ever seen him?
I
He's
have
got
not.
the grayest eyes. What a looker. And she just kind of like, you see her just kind of daydreaming about this handsome knight she thinks is great.
Has this ever happened before?
Has what ever happened, dear?
The gates shut this long.
Oh, yes, yes. Sometimes there's civil wars that go on for weeks. They'll shut the gates and open them again, shut them again, open them again, and trade stops and starts. It's nothing you can do but wait. Unless you've got the money to bribe your way in. Everybody likes a bribe.
Is it the jester you bribe?
You bribe whoever's between you and the door, dear. You're really not from around here, are you?
I am not.
I could tell. Much too handsome.
You see, like he's not sure if he should like fully smile at that, so there's just a smirk that forms. The jester is still sitting in the throne.
No, the jester has tumbled forth from the throne and is standing, looking like official behind the judge.
When we first got here, and I first made that campfire in the room immediately after we got here, you said the fire burned, but it didn't generate heat. Is that accurate?
Yes, yeah. Fire makes light, but doesn't burn with heat.
Have I seen like a fire created by the hunters that we were with prior to getting here? Was it like a full-fledged fire?
If you use like a drop of juice to make a fire, then yeah, you can definitely like I think Gun Princess had a lighter that was like made juice fire.
Okay.
She kept smoking cigarettes, so yeah.
Right. I don't know if I just want to keep like throwing oddities because it's all the same roll.
Have more stuff.
Yeah. I think I just start walking towards the jester. How many how much space is between us? 20 feet, 15 feet, something like that?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to get up, get up on the stage and walk towards the jester?
Yeah. I'm just walking straight towards him.
Okay. Yeah. So he comes forward and puts his hands up. Like the judge is sort of impassively like turned around and is like walking back out the door because he just came out, delivered the edict, and then was like, "Fuck you! I don't care. I'm leaving." The jester's still hanging out, and they're kind of groggy because they were asleep for like 4 hours. And so they're like, "Hey, hold on. Where are you going? Didn't you hear the big man? Well, he's small now, but you remember how it goes. Gates closed. Nobody in or out. Except me, of course, because I go where I please. But you have to get back in line.
You said you
Or
could
don't.
be.
You could fuck off if you wanted to.
You said you could be bribed.
Hey, that's so loud. Quiet. Subterfuge, my friend. There's a protocol to these things.
It is lost on me.
Of course.
Perhaps I'll say it louder.
Yes. No, I agree. The safety of the public is the most important thing. That's right. Yes, and everyone should shut up. And they're all ugly. What he said is right. Yes, I agree with the bruiser. Come on, you're gonna get me in trouble.
Let me inside and I will stop. And I'll make sure that you get your money's worth.
Really? And how do you propose you're gonna do that?
I'm a relic hunter. I've returned from a job. My friend's already inside. I'll get my fair share, and as I depart, you'll find me crossing just like I will enter.
So you want me to do you a favor today and you'll just repay me later. Is that how it's to go? And I should just believe you? Because you're so trustworthy looking?
Do you have
Is that your
ways
proposition?
to keep tabs on me? Can you I don't know, follow my blood. I don't know how it works here.
You're very strange. Very, very strange indeed. And I'm not sure if I have better things to do than follow you around until I get paid. Persuasion check.
There's no other way to enter this except for persuasion shit.
I mean, you could punch them in the face. You could
Yeah, but-
intimidate them.
Yeah.
You can sneak in.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all charisma. It's all fucking
It turns out that aside from getting things that you want with violence, you really only have the one other venue.
Yeah, the dude that's good at that is a dragon now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. D&D.
What were the last things he just said? He's basically saying, like,
he said,
he's
"I
stating the
don't-"
deal.
He said, "You're..." Yeah, well, no, he was like, "You're weird, and I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe you're weird in a way that will be interesting if I follow you around until you pay me. Or maybe you're weird in a boring way, in which case, fuck out of here."
I think I'll just say, do you have any enemies inside? I don't mean to persuade you through this, but perhaps I'll make sure they're dealt with. I don't have a quick tongue, but I have a quick blade.
You misunderstand me, stranger. You don't know the ways of this place. My job is sacrosanct. I'm the jester of the divine comedy. I can say what I want and do as I please and go where I wish. The fool has declared me sacred. And there isn't anything that you or anyone else can do to harm me, or you'll befall the worst possible punishments. So yes, I have enemies, but they're all impotent, which is the best sort of enemy to have, I think.
I think I just turn around and leave. I'm done talking to him.
Fuck this Joker.
Yeah.
So your other option is to leave, because you do have an ally outside the city.
Yeah,
right?
that's where I'm gonna head.
So you're just like, oh, fuck this.
I mean, there's no anger or anything. I just turn around and leave.
Yeah. Okay. The old, as you walk by, the old lady is like, "Bye, dear. Have a nice cycle."
Yeah, I'm too upset internally, so I just go and find the traveling
And
companions.
and so you go out of range, and the the lady says to the guy who is behind you, "See the arms on that one? Like tree trunks. And he's got a behind to match. Oh my." Goes back to waiting. Yeah, so you're gonna just head for, I mean, where do you know where you're going?
No, I only know like where they, I guess, led us here. They never said anything in terms of where to meet up. I guess the bug farm or whatever was mentioned, but
Yeah, a bug farm, and somebody named Obstinate Bugfucker, though you don't know if that's their name or just like a title.
right, yeah. Yeah, I guess
There's lots
I'll
of people
walk for a
around in
little ways.
line. You could just grab them, or yeah, you could just like walk away and see if you could figure it out yourself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk away, see if I can figure it out myself.
Okay. All right. So we play the closing credits theme for the Incredible Hulk, and you walk away from the scene. So, Yota, you are retrieved. You're retrieved by these guards, these marionette guards, and then one human. The human is dressed like a circus ringleader. So they have like a top hat and like a fancy black satin coat and like polished boots and a riding crop, though they're not like wielding it; it's just hanging on their belt. And they take you. You are, unless you attempt to fight them off, they put you in manacles. They bind your hands, and they lead you blindfolded. There's a bag that is with some work pulled over your ears and over your head, and they lead you away from wherever the cell is that you're being kept. And the only sound is the faint creaking of whatever powers these automatons, and then the click of the boots of your captor on the floor. You smell the wolf smell like fade away the further you get, and eventually the smell is replaced by incense. And can you make a medicine check?
You bet. 5.
Ooh, okay. All right. There is some kind of, there's like incense, and it's covering a like kind of a sickly medicinal smell. It's not strong, but it wafts gently in the hall until you are stopped. It's like a rattling from your chains, and then there's a knock. You hear on your side someone knocking, and then the door opens, and the like ringmaster says, "We have the prisoner. He has to see the knight. Is he within?" And you don't hear a response. It must be non-verbal. And the ringmaster says, "Good. Then I remand the beast into your custody." And you get pushed. You don't stumble because you're too graceful for that shit, but you get pushed slightly into a room. You can feel that there is a breeze, an intermittent breeze in this room. This room is definitely where the smell is coming from. And then the door shuts behind you.
And is it just me in the room, or?
So the bag is taken from your head.
Oh, right. I forgot a bag. Yeah.
It's yanked off your head. Yeah. So you can see your eyes blink. So you are you're in a room. There are a few people here. There is an enormous bed with a gray like coverlet. It's a big four-post bed, and there are sheets like around the bed. There's fabric hanging down, semi-transparent fabric hanging down. There is a big chair, an overstuffed chair next to the bed. There is a little desk with some books on it, or a little like a side table with some books on it. There is a figure dressed like a maid, like a chambermaid maybe, but she's wearing a veil, and she has in her hands a fan made out of feathers, and she's fanning the person sitting in this chair. And in the chair there is a little girl. She's maybe like 6 or 7. She has like patent leather, like black shoes, a little dress, which would be like a little funereal for a girl in your, like a little girl in your world, unless she was attending a funeral. She is very, very pale. She has a bit of gray in her cheeks, and she has those mirror black eyes. And she has her hair is white, and it's in like ringlets, kind of like hangs down around her shoulders. She has a book in her lap, which she has closed. You hear it close as the thing is being pulled from your head. The room has a sort of sickly smell under the scent of incense.
And I'll just wait to speak until spoken to.
Okay. She notices. She says, "Very good. Beginning with respect." And she sets the book. She tries to lift the book, and it's too heavy. So the chambermaid like helps her lift it off of her lap and set it on the table. And then she straightens her dress and like slips down off of the chair and walks over to you with this like quiet clicking sound of her shoes. And she looks at you, looks you up and down. She says, "Do you know who I am?"
I was given, well, not given, but overheard mixed answers. I was told I was being taken to the king, and then someone said the knight, so I'm unsure.
She nods, and she says, "You are in our presence. I am the king of this court, and I will forgive you in my mercy, for you're not bowing properly before me."
Thank you. I'm unfamiliar with the protocol or what I'm supposed to do here to show
Yes.
proper respect.
Yes, they told me. You're very strange looking. Something unsettling about you. We had to see you for ourselves. There's like a faint wheeze from the bed. Like someone is trying to breathe. And there's this kind of raspy like sound. And she looks over her shoulder and looks back at you. Don't mind him.
Is that the queen, perhaps?
You really don't know, do you? No. Our knight. Poor thing. So, you are our prisoner, and as such, beholden to our whims. We are merciful. What are you doing in our city? The judge said you attacked one of our guards. We could have you killed for that, as many times as we like, hung from the walls. But we were curious. You remind us of something that we love.
What would that be, if I may ask?
We do not know what it is called. We were given a... And she gets kind of like awkward, like she doesn't want to say, and she's trying to think of like a better word for it. A gift by a petitioner once. It looked like you. We did so love it until it was lost. We had felt in our heart a great sadness, and now we think you have come to replace it. You look very much like this gift.
Was it a living gift or a ornament or something?
It was a bit of both. Brought to us from a vein hunter we once enjoyed the company of.
Well, as to my crime, I suppose if it's laid out like you said, then yes, I am guilty. But the bigger crime was, I suppose, trying to get a friend out of a jam.
Your friend. He was the one with the weapon that glowed so strangely.
Yes, that was him. A parlor trick, as far as I know.
No, more than that. We can feel it. Like a splinter under the skin, crawling around the city. It gnaws at us. And as she's speaking, you can hear like whispering, and not like because to try to stay quiet, but because they can't draw enough breath to like fill their lungs to say the words at any volume other than a whisper, saying the exact same thing as her. Someone is speaking from the bed, but you can barely hear it. It just sounds like breath.
Okay. And I don't make a show of it, but I definitely don't hide the fact that my ears are like ruffling towards the sound.
When your ears move, she like smiles and like pats her little hands together.
You like that?
Yes.
Only they were bigger, then I could fly with him.
She kind of gives you a look like, you're fucking with me. I don't believe you.
And I smile at her to let her know that I was fucking with her.
It is good that our judge did not kill you. Your appearance pleases us.
Well, that pleases me.
Did you meet the creature down below in the cell where we put you?
Yes. Fearsome. Large. Never seen anything like it before in my life. It's... gives the heart a cause to jump.
The fleshcrafter's work is a dangerous art. Is that why you look the way that you do? Did someone make you this way?
Just my parents. They look like me.
You said a word that she doesn't understand, and she scowls, but doesn't admit that she doesn't know what you meant.
I realize that I said something because they don't have parents; they just are. I guess.
Yeah. She just like she makes a face, but you can tell that she's too proud to be like, "What? What is that?" Because that would admit that you know something that she doesn't.
Right. I'm sorry. My language is sometimes a bit difficult to understand. I had makers, somewhat, and they made me to look like them, is what I'm saying. So I'm not sure where my appearance came from, but originally, but from them is how I was made to look.
So there are more of you.
Yes, from my land.
You must tell us where. Perhaps if you do, we will give you your freedom back. We would so like to see more of you.
I don't know if there's any way to get there.
What do you mean?
You have magic here, is that right? You have magic users and spell weavers, yes.
And yeah, she nods and she says, the Fool Inverse has many servants of many talents. Some can craft the energies of the void, yes.
And you're aware, or at least have heard, that there are many different realms. I'm not just talking about the next country over. I'm talking about completely other places. And there are doors and ways to get to them.
You see her eyes go wide as she realizes what you're saying. It would not behoove you to lie to us. You speak true? You come from beyond the vein? It's like there's like a deep wheeze, like the whatever is in the sheets is trying to say something, and she just like holds her hand up, like, shut the fuck up, I'm listening to this guy talk.
If I were, what would that mean to you?
A great many things. Great many things indeed. She's kind of like just staring at you, like just her fucking eyes just like going right through you.
I'm waiting, just like waiting for her to say something.
Yeah. So she nods and she says, a fortunate day for both of us then. You were spared the tender ministrations of the judges, and I have something to take to the Fool. An interesting bit of news. Tell me,
what is
creature?
The other land? What is it? What does it mean to you and your people?
place you say you're from?
Hmm.
To most, it's a fairy tale. Some of them are a seek it endlessly.
Why? I'm
How?
sorry.
It is the source, the miasma that seeps from the vein. Our Lord, the fool in verse, has seen it with his own eyes, stared upon this place, come back changed. And now to have an artifact, a living artifact of this place here in my possession, I should think he will be very pleased.
Hmm.
You will stay, won't you?
Well, I thought I'd have
gives you this
a
look like you don't have a choice.
no, and that's where I'm like, well, I thought I'd go out into the countryside and can you wait a couple of days while I go relax in my house in the woods? I promise I'll return.
She laughs and she says, "You're so silly. No, that won't do at all." She looks you up and down at like the way you're dressed, and she says, "I can't have you here looking like this, and I won't send you back down there with that wolf. No, you're mine now, and until the fool in verse decides what to do with you, I can't have you looking so shabby." And she claps her chubby little hands, and the maiden, the veiled maiden, turns to attend to her, and she says, "Take this one away, clean it up, bathe it, dress it up nicely for me. I think I have a collar somewhere that should fit it. And then bring it back here and tell the queen and the page to meet me. I have such good news to share with them." And the handmaiden floats towards you and like reaches out with this kind of like ghostly hand.
Tell her not to forget to give me back my jug. Very important to me, and handed down from my family or from my makers.
And she scowls and
A
she says,
gift.
maybe if you're a good boy, you can have your little toy back. Now go.
I flutter my ears
No.
to show I'm happy. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Okay, so make a for the scene, make a charisma save.
Okay.
I just need to sort of set the tone of how she is going to like treat you, whether she's just like
I'm going to use my
belonging or whether
inspiration
she
for this.
remembers. Yeah, that's a good call.
Okay. 13.
Nice. Good. It's good that you used it. Okay, so the queen thinks of her new pet favorably. So she is like proud to have found you, and she you get treated nicely. You get treated like a nice pet. So the handmaiden, without saying anything, like leads you to a place where you are like bathed and scrubbed and tended to. You are adorned with a garland of white flowers. You're perfumed and made up.
Now hold on. The little girl was the king, right?
Yes.
So I haven't met the queen yet.
You have not. No.
Okay.
You haven't met the queen or the page. You haven't met the queen or the page. And the knight is whatever was like being wheezy and having an impossible time breathing.
Right.
Inside.
Jabba behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, is the queen or is the king, the little girl king, watching me?
Yeah.
As they like bathe me and stuff, or is she off doing stuff?
No. She has to go and gather, like she basically is getting ready to brag to her coworkers about how she found you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I won't, like, as I was gonna like, play up elephant stuff for her, like spray water. And
whatnot. but when you're not around her, you don't do it, because she doesn't know what an elephant is, but you look like a favorite toy she lost, and that pleases her. And
well, if you've ever seen like a comic strip or something with like an off-duty monkey grinder, the monkey in his off time, he's just like smoking cigarettes in the back.
A cigarette, drinking a whiskey. Yeah.
That's
totally.
me.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, it is funny because you get taken away and you get treated like a beloved pet. Like these things can't talk. Her handmaidens are like ghosts, basically. They can't talk. They're just like servant spirits, but they bathe and scrub you, and they like, yeah, they treat you great, but they treat you like you're getting like washed like a favorite dog. Um, and they don't notice if you're playing up the act or not. So meanwhile, Ramos and Berg and Last Job and Idle Hands and the other crafters, you're all like hanging around. Food has been brought out now. It's some kind of like braised meat of some kind of insectoid creature that is laying upside down on the table, and everybody's picking pieces of it and eating. There are jugs of ale that have been brought to the table. And yeah, there's just like kind of getting to know you like conversation going on here for the two of you. Like, how much do you give up? Obviously, you know that Berg is pretending to be Bert, so I imagine you don't give that up.
Yeah, I guess Ramos is just trying to answer questions without too much detail and being kind of vague about everything and trying to say what they want me to say. It's kind of how I'm playing the conversation. I don't know
Okay.
what Berg's.
Yeah, Berg would be letting you lead in the conversation, only answering when addressed by the others. That was kind of
Okay.
his intent. By once you're there, he usually doesn't have to do the talking, so he would respond and follow
so
your
you can
lead.
relax a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you fall back into the pattern of like, okay, I'm with Ramos. Ramos can handle things. So yeah, Idle Hands at some point, Ramos, like between rounds, she leans in and she says, so I helped your friend Bert here find you when he was lost. It was really quite sad. He was wandering around the gate. Just any minute, the guards could have just seen him and, mistaken him for some kind of troublemaker. I whisked him out of that situation. I brought him straight here to you. He said something about you maybe having some money. I don't want to seem like I'm, only in it for that. I like favors too, but I thought we might do a little business, seeing as how I helped your friend and everything.
Well, aren't you just so generous and kind? What kind
But I
of
can.
business did you have in mind?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're looking for a longer engagement, the city can chew you up and spit you out if you don't know what to expect. I know everybody. All the secret places, how to navigate the laws. They change a lot around here. You could use somebody, guide, maybe. But if you think you can go it on your own, you could just pay me now and I'll leave.
Well, I whisper, what do you know about these fellows here? I point the guys that are probably talking to themselves at the table.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a discussion about whether it is better to have one thumb per hand or two. So one of them is like, if you have a thumb on either end, your gripping power is doubled. And they're like, you asshole, that's not how grip works. You have to have the arm muscles for it. And so they're having this debate about thumbs. And she says, well, those three are strangers, at least for now. But that one, he's a businessman. You know him already. I've had some dealings with Last Job once or twice. He knows a little about this town, not as much as me, of course. Interesting to see that he's working with crafters, though. This is a maximalist town, and well, you can tell these three, they're naturalists. I mean, look at them. Internalists. They don't... they don't have crafters where you're from?
Different name, but I think I know what you mean. Yeah, but I'm just wondering, like, would you say that he's dependable in a business deal? Like, make a deal with him, he will keep his side of the bargain.
Men like that, reputation is what matters. So, yeah, I figure he says he's going to do something. You could probably trust him.
Well, how about this? He's apparently about to do some sort of job here for some coin. If you are helpful to us, I will cut you in on my share.
What kind of job?
Something to do with someone named Yota.
Her eyes. You know what? You can just pay me now and I'll go. Couple of coins, 3, 4 maybe, whatever you got on you, I'll take it. I'll go. We never have to talk again. It's fine. You know, I did my good deed for the day. In fact, forget it. And she gets up and like quickly enough that the chair falls over and she looks at it and she's like, yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's fine. I didn't realize and she's like walking backwards like away. Like I gotta go.
Well, I'll be sure to mention to her that you were very helpful.
And she says, you know what? Don't worry about it. Forget we ever. And she just like leaves, just like walks outside.
Like
and
does
is
one of those.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
That was
I think
nice.
that last job notices that she's left. And he's like, we were just getting started. Where did she go?
Oh, she had some sort of business thing to deal with. You know how those types are.
Scoundrels. Rogues and scoundrels. But you can't blame them. This place breeds them. Now listen, Ramos, Bert, this has been great, but we do have some business to attend to. Now, if the two of you want to come along, you're welcome to it. But caveat emptor. Right? Aorta's a dangerous individual, and the maximalists are not for everyone. So if you don't want to come along, I'll understand. We're going to be staying in this inn, so you know where to find us if you need anything. Like an extra thumb. And he like looks over, and one of them is like, thank you, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I hate to just barge into something. Could you give me like the slightest bit of more detail of what we're about to do, just so we can make an informed decision, Bert and I?
Aorta is a significant figure in the local flesh crafting economy. A mover, a shaker, if you will. And we are going to pay our respects. We have an offering to make. My friends have put together a little gift for Aorta, and we are going to deliver it, make our obsequiousnesses, and promise not to get in their way. And then maybe they'll throw us a scrap, some work, things that we can do. We're getting the lay of the land.
So you've
Set up a
come to
business.
kiss the ring of the leader, just out of respect.
If the only thing that I have to end up kissing today is a ring, I will get out of this so very happy.
Well, Bert, what do you think? Should we tag along while they pay respect?
Doing nothing else right now.
That's the spirit.
Well, Bert is a wise man, wiser than me. So if he says we should go along, then I'll follow his lead.
All right. Yeah. So you're gonna go.
Yeah, I think we'll tag along, see what this is all about.
All right. So last job leaves a handful of coins. These weird shimmery kind of gray green like iron coins on the table to pay for all the drinks, and gives you a smile like I'm a rich man, I'm a merchant, I spend money, don't worry about it, I got the tab. Like he's showing off a little bit to try to impress his new friends, and so he pays the tab, and the group of you get up and head out.
We're just
and you
sitting
head
there
out
like,
into the,
impress away. We don't have money.
yeah, right. You're like, I don't have any money, so fucking do it. Yeah. And so, yeah, so the group of you leave and you head out into the streets. So meanwhile, Maharib, you have walked away, or you've just like turned your back on the necropolis and just like headed in a direction like back the way you came.
Yeah, if there's, I'll make a survival roll to see if I can, like, I don't know, pick up any sense of where the party we were with earlier.
You can get as far back as the last turn without, like, because you were following a road to get here, and you stopped at an intersection right at a crossroads, and one of you like left, right? Gun Princess left on one way, and the rest of you went the other way. So you can get back to that crossroads, no problem.
Can I make a survival roll to see if I can track the others, or would I have no sense to track them? Or nothing to track them by?
Who are you? Which the others? Like
The people that left.
The other the vein hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try. Like if you can roll like real damn good, you could. I think it's a DC 20. Yeah, that's a 4. Okay. Yeah, because there's no way to know like which tracks are there. So no, there's no way to know. They can get in the city legitimately, so they may have done so before the gates got closed. But they definitely made themselves scarce.
All right. Then I go back to the crossroads and follow down the path that whatever her name was going.
Okay. So you get back to the crossroads, and as you approach, you hear a rhythmic thumping sound, like someone hammering nails. And every time you hear that sound, there is, the first time you hear it, there's a shout of pain. And then the shout gets quieter. And then the shout becomes a whimper. And then eventually, after a dozen or so, there's just quiet. And you come out of a little like area with some trees on the road, and you can see the crossroads. And you can see that there seems to be some kind of work crew. There's a wagon with a cage on the back of it, which is currently empty. And there are a bunch of people dressed in stagehand outfits. So like tool belts. They're all wearing black. They have black like hoods, like executioner hoods. And they have a scaffold set up in front of an enormous cruciform. And someone has just finished getting nailed to this cruciform. He is naked. He is pale-skinned. And he is bleeding from both hands and from his feet. And he has just been crucified to this thing. And the work crew is getting down from the ladder and congratulating each other on a job well done. Right? They're like, that was great. This took half as long as the last time, and they're having this little chat.
I don't recognize the person at all.
No.
That's okay. Do they say anything to me when I appear out of this road or bush or whatever?
No, they look up and they notice you, but they don't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, I just keep to myself and go down to the bug farm.
Okay. Yeah. So they like, one of them nods as you walk by, and there's a person who's like dying on this cross, and you're you leave. You just head off. Okay. Yeah. So it's there is a sign at this crossroads, and one of the signs points towards opportunity, and it says opportunity, but it's been graffitied a bunch of times. So it says like fuckhole or like missing limbs or like, like a bunch of, it's been painted over. Yeah, crap opportunity. Exactly. Opportunities. So it's been
opportunities.
Yeah, it's been graffitoed a bunch of times. And then there's another sign that just says the farm on it. And that's pointing the direction you are headed.
All right.
Yeah, so you head off that way? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so we stick with you, and we get a crossfade. A while later, like maybe an hour or so, you have gone down into like a marshy area. It has this like sort of rancid stink in the air. There are puddles of bubbling fluid kind of like gushing up out of the ground. There are clouds of sort of sulfurous stuff. And in the distance, you can see what looks like an enormous tent, maybe? It's kind of round and like bulbous. And it's in the distance. And then you can see obviously the green sun kind of casting down towards it.
Okay. How far off is the tent from where I'm at?
You figure maybe like another half an hour's walk.
And then what was I get the names mixed up. Which one of the
Yeah,
vein-
there are a lot of new names. There are a lot of new names, and they're all weird. So
which one of the vein hunters was going this way?
this was Gun Princess.
Okay. And she never said anything particular about the farm, only that it was
She seems
bug
to be.
farm.
She seems to be the only one that has any interest in being here. Everybody else was clearly like disgusted with the idea of it. But yeah, formidable Gun Princess of Black Onyx. They had to go here. They had to run an errand, and it had to do with the ammunition that they shot you with.
okay. So you said there was a tent, and there was what else? Was there anything else where someone might be?
There's just like a big pavilion tent, a big gray pavilion tent, and then this like swampland all around you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start making my way to the tent.
Okay. All right. So as you get closer, you start to see the corpses. There are dead animals, like enormous ones, like mammoth size, like big dead animals. They're decayed enough you can't quite tell what they are, but you can see like the curve of a spine, like rotting fur. You see they're kind of half sunken in the mud. And yeah, there's just like mammal corpses kind of all laid out. And I think that the first time you see it, it just like one of the first one looks like a corpse. And you hear a faint kind of noise in the air, like a wet kind of like faint like squeaking sound almost, like the sound of like somebody chewing on a balloon. And it's quiet, but it's everywhere. And as you get closer, you see one of these moldering corpses, but it's moving. You can see that like a field of wheat under a gentle breeze, its fur is like rippling slightly. And there's this kind of like wet sort of chewing noise. You can see these things laid out on the road to the tent.
But they're pretty far off the road, right? Or are they on the road itself?
So they are on the road. They like on the sides of the road.
Sides of the road, okay.
Sides of the road. They're not blocking the way.
Yeah.
There are actually little like footpaths that lead to them, like dry kind of footpaths.
That's what I was asking.
And and you notice if you look, there are little wooden signs that have been hammered into the ground near them. Each one has its own little sign, like you would in a garden, right? Like, so you know where you planted the azaleas and you know where you planted the carrots.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll stay on the main path to the tent. If I can read any of the signage without going off the main path, I will, but I'm not going to stray too far off.
The signs do not have words written on them. They have tallies. So like scratch marks and then lines through them.
Okay.
Like somebody is counting something.
All right.
And as you get closer, you notice one of them has like most of its flesh is still on its bones. It looks like it's like it just died like recently. There's no sign, and this one there's drag marks, like someone just dragged it here and like flopped it down. This is one of the closest ones. So you get to the edge of the tent, and there's a big sign on the road, like hammered into it, and it just says "Go away," big letters.
Is the path like? Can I see footprints in the path as if it's been traveled, or is it just a beaten down path with a ton of footprints on it?
Make a perception or investigation check.
I'll do perception. 14.
14. Okay. There are two tracks. both relatively recent. So the sort of palimpsest of the tracks is there are footprints, one set of footprints from someone who is fairly small or fairly light or both, a petite person. There is another set of, I wouldn't call them tracks because they're not individual like feet, something more like the dried slime trail drag marks of an enormous like gastropod, like a snail,
Sure.
a slug. And that's, yeah, so you see those two things. And it looks like they intersect and interact, but then also some of the trail marks are older.
Okay. I'll follow the freshest tracks of the nimble, smaller footsteps.
Okay.
To see if they go anywhere else, if it's the tent or somewhere else, etc.
They approach the door. They approach the door of the tent and then go inside.
Okay.
So you walk past the go away sign, and you approach, and you get up to the entrance of the tent.
Okay. It's just open. There's not there's nothing to knock on or anything, right? I just have to peek my head in.
Yeah, you just have to like pull it open and peer inside.
Okay, I do so.
Okay, so we see your big gray Goliath hand as you reach for the entrance to the tent, and as you go to open it, you hear a tiny like a tiny crack of thunder. You hear a loud like bang from the other side of the tent, from like around the back. And then a second later, another one, bang, bang, like two in a row.
Can you as if something's snapping, as if something's firing? Can you?
Just like a loud snap. Make an intelligence save.
19.
Oh, nice. Okay, so when you hear that snapping sound, there's like a twinge, like your muscle twitches. The last time you heard that noise was right before a bout of horrible pain and then dying.
Right. Okay. Then it's definitely like a full-on run towards that noise.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you take off. You go to run around the other side of the tent. And I think I'm going to be a jerk and not tell you what it is. I'm going to save it until next time. So you dash around the tent, and then we fade to credits.
Cool. All right, let's do some shout-outs. Zeke, go ahead and start us off.
You bet. All right. Well, oh man, you see what happens when you split the party? You see what happens? My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm leaving for Japan tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm leaving for Vancouver first. And then
the trip starts,
the next day, I'm leaving to go to Japan. I'll be gone for 10 days, but we will be IRL streaming. Hopefully, if everything works out the way it's supposed to work out. We'll be IRL streaming on both mine and Adam's channel from Japan. So follow our Twitters for those updates as to when we're doing that. And then when I come back, we'll see if I turn Japanese. Who knows? But thank you to Max, Dan, JP, and Adam for making this always a highlight for me every week. And I love you all. Thank you for watching.
You Zeke, you know what that song is about, right?
I do.
Turning
It's about
Japanese?
masturbation,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that. That's the joke.
I can't believe I have to stay in the same house as you for a week.
Oh man, you are in for a treat. I would sleep with your eyes open. Why did I say that? I don't know. Never mind. Forget I said that. That was crazy. No one does that.
Never mind.
Max, do some shout-outs.
Hi, I'm not going to Japan tomorrow. I'm kind of just going to be here doing nothing. No. Thanks guys for watching the show. It was fun to get back and finally get a show underway. And yeah, we'll see what happens next time. Thanks, of course, to JP, Adam, Zeke, and Dan for doing their thing and being wonderful cast members and DMs. And although, you know what? Adam kind of fucked us a bit in the beginning, but it worked out. We'll talk about it in the post show. Glad at least we got some stuff happening there. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is all my stuff. I'm pointing the right way. Yes. I don't know. You can't even see my hand. Who cares? Follow me if you want to. I'm going to stream a little bit later, do some Satisfactory, checking out the early access release-ish. Really, it's early access of that. So check it out if you want to with some friends. See you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Yay! Blood penises.
Listen, you were the ones that called it that, not me.
You thought I forgot about
Not
it?
me.
Nope.
Dan, some shout outs.
Hi, I'm DansGaming, / DansGaming on Twitch, variety streamer. Currently playing some 2 Point Hospital until Sekiro comes out in a few days. Which I hope that game's good. This was a fun episode. We're now in 4 separate stories right now, which is interesting when the party gets split up. So I'm excited to see how it ends up next week. And Adam's doing a great job keeping track of all the stuff in his head. I don't know how the hell he does it. And I can't wait until next week.
2 weeks. April 2nd. No show next week.
Oh, 2 weeks.
The next week.
The
not
next week. Yeah,
I know.
there you go. Adam, some shout outs, and we'll do some goals.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. Zeke said all the stuff about Japan already, so don't worry about that. I have two more streams before we take off for the Land of the Rising Sun. I'm going to be on twitch.tv/DND tomorrow morning with another episode of Jace Bellerin Must Die, which is my Magic the Gathering themed show over there. And then we've got an episode of Far Verona tomorrow, and that'll be the last thing before off we go. I'm obviously looking very much forward to it. You can follow me on Twitter at skinnyghost. Twitch.tv/Adam Coble, because for the whole next week, it's all going to be Japan stuff. So if you want to see pictures or videos, that'd be the place to do it. I got to go and do the community Q&A thread. I just about forgot. I was like, there's something I usually say here. JP, what episode was this? 106? Sorry, I put you on the spot there.
Maybe 107. I don't know. I'll look. Here, you do goals. I'll look up the.
Okay, I'll do goals. You check.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so goals. All right, Ramos, you worked on finding a way back. You have you found shelter? What do you think?
I don't know.
Are you gonna just stay in the inn? Is that the plan?
He offered like a room at the end. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah. I
haven't,
think
like,
so. Like
been
if
there
you're willing,
yeah.
if you want to stay at the inn, like you can off screen the like buy like renting the room thing.
Yeah.
Oh, but you don't have any
It's
money.
literally the only place I have right now. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say worked on but didn't accomplish because you either need money or to convince him to pay for it. And I love that Berg got safely into the necropolis, even though you totally fucking ditched him. I'm still gonna give you the XP though. I'm still gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you get what do you get? You get 600 for working on your level, right? Okay, so 6, 12, and then that was getting Berg in through 2. Okay, so you get 12, 3,200. 3,200.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. And I'll clear the done ones. Perfect. Okay, Maharib. You tried to get the entire party inside the necropolis. You tried so hard, and everybody but you got in. So there is that. And you worked on your reconciling with Yota because you did try to stay with him. So you're gonna get 1,200 this session. Okay, there you go, JP. And then Yota, you made sure that everybody. You tried to make sure to get everybody into the necropolis, but you left one behind, not for lack of trying. I saw you asking about the rumors, so working on that one. And then I think that's it. I think it's worked on those.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's 1,200 for Yota.
Fuck, man. Never gonna get to fucking 11 or 12.
And then Berg entered in the necropolis. 2,000 for Berg. There you go.
Cool. We're on episode 107.
107. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks.
Cool.
Yes, so if you have questions about the Court of the Void or any of the characters, or you didn't catch any of the weird names, or just want to ask me things, I'll put together that thread. It'll be at community.itmeJP.com as always.
All right. We will see you guys on April 2nd for the next episode of Court of Swords. Until then, have a good one. And we'll see you then. Bye.